New research shows that during the global financial crisis, workers who stayed in jobs did not reduce their working hours, despite the claims that cuts in hours have led to job losses. A study found that the life of people who stayed with the same employer remained relatively unchanged. The emergence of information technology has created new products, processes and distribution systems. New products include the computer, the internet and digital TV. New processes include internet banking, automated inventory control and automated telemachines, and new distribution systems include cable and satellite TV. Therefore, the working unions in modern society are not very important. They preserve their functions only in the underdeveloped countries. On the contrary, in the developed states, workers refuse to join the unions, preferring individual work. Thus, working unions cannot survive the assault of modern economic trends and slowly move to a complete decline. Their initial purposes have little to do with the hectic pace of modern life. Imagine living all your life as the only family on your street. Then, one morning, you open the front door and discover houses all around you. You see neighbors tending their gardens and children walking to school. Where did all the people come from? What if the answer turned out to be that they had always been there, you just hadn't seen them? Perhaps the most measurable benefit of the program has been the opportunity to meet in small groups, something that is difficult to arrange such a disparate organization. Many officers would have to work together for 30 years but would not know others' strengths and weaknesses. Business school admissions officers said the new drive to attract younger students was in part the result of a realization that they had inadvertently limited their applicant pool by requiring several years' work experience. Talented students who might otherwise have gone to business school instead opted for a law or policy degree because they were intimidated by the expectation of work experience. This year the National Environmental Science Competition received excellent undergraduate and postgraduate entries from all across the country, with a wide range of projects. We are delighted that our awards are encouraging exciting and valuable projects that go beyond research and analysis to develop solutions for a number of key problems. Information about the shortlisted projects will be posted on our website in the first week in June. Scientific studies show that by age 3 there is a gap in brain development between kids who read aloud and those who do not, and children from low-income families are disproportionately impacted by this gap. Making sure all parents know the importance of reading aloud to their children is critical to closing the achievement gap. Long isolated from Western Europe, Russia grew up without participating in the development like the Reformation that many Russians taking pride in their unique culture find dubious value. Russia is, as a result, the most unusual member of the European family, if indeed it is European at all. The question is still open to debate, particularly among Russians themselves. Electronic discourse is one form of interactive electronic communication. In this study, we reserve the term for the two-directional texts in which one person using a keyboard writes language that appears on the sender's monitor and is transmitted to the monitor of a recipient, who responds by keyboard.
Weakness in electronics. Auto and gas station sales dragged down overall retail sales last month, but excluding those three categories, retailers enjoyed healthy increases across the board, according to government figures released Wednesday. Moreover, December sales numbers were also revised higher. This will just take a minute. We all know money can't buy happiness. But according to a recent study, there may be a loophole. A team of researchers finds that selling out for services that save time can bring greater feelings of life satisfaction than, say, simply buying more stuff. The results appear in the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. YouTube has banned videos that show people how to manufacture or modify guns and their accessories. It had already banned videos linked to the sale of guns and accessories. Many firearms enthusiasts noticed that some of their videos had been removed from the video sharing website and some had their channels suspended.
A South Korean court ordered the arrest of Park Geun-hye, the former president, on charges of bribery and abuse of power. Ms. Park, who was removed from office 3 weeks ago, will be jailed while prosecutors seek an indictment for her alleged role in a corruption scandal. The court said that if Ms. Park was not taken into custody, she might destroy evidence.
Nurse sharks are thought to take advantage of dormant fish which would otherwise be too fast for the sharks to catch. Although their small mouths limit the size of prey items, the sharks have large throat cavities which are used as a sort of bellows valve. In this way, nurse sharks are able to suck in their prey. Nurse sharks are also known to graze algae and coral. Locals in central Finland are campaigning to have reindeer corralled all year round in a dispute with traditional herders. In what's been described as a reindeer rebellion, people living in North Ostrobothnia and Kenya regions want tighter restrictions on herding, because they say that the free-range animals are damaging their crops and forests and harming their livelihoods. The so-called continuing resolution keeps the government funded until February 8 in the hope that Congress can reach a longer-term budget agreement in the meantime. Thousands of federal employees who had been placed on temporary, unpaid leave since Saturday breathed a sigh of relief. About 46,000 nuclear weapons were produced during the Cold War era, leading to tremendous volumes of acidic radioactive liquid waste seeping into the environment. A new study suggests yeast is a potentially safer and more cost-effective way to help clean up these radioactive waste sites.
Women today tend to live longer than men almost everywhere worldwide, in some countries by more than a decade. Now, 3 centuries of historical records show that women don't just outlive men in normal times, they're also more likely to survive even in the worst of circumstances, such as famines and epidemics.
We have outfitted it with the space lab built by our European partners and used it before the era of the space station to do scientific research. We used it as part of our partnership with the Russians, which is still continuing, first as part of the Mir space station, where we actually prolonged the useful life of Mir by several years through logistical supply visits with the shuttle. And now, of course, we're using it to build the new International Space Station, which is a huge international partnership.